what does Trump do? It's an interesting question. If I were advising Trump, the best way that he could move forward if he wants to run again in 2024 is by eventually focusing the remaining time of his term of office between now and January 20th, which is 2 full months, on the question of how do we get distributed this vaccine. I would work full-time on COVID so that you can start the distribution of the vaccine and argue that you stood up to the pandemic and solved it, then leave to Joe Biden the challenges of distributing the vaccine to a large extent. If he did that, then in 2024, at the age of 78, if he still has a lot of vim and vitality and he wants to fight, he could decide to run again. Or he could start a media company. He's now been the president of the United States, and he could live the rest of his life on that and make a ton of money by starting a media company. There is so much money out there to raise in relation to media companies right now, okay? So going forward, I think that could make a great deal of sense for him. I think he has to decide what to do. What happens to the Trump haters in the media? This is a really good question. A lot of people, CNN, MSNBC, a lot of their commentators made decisions that they were going to treat Donald Trump like Satan, and they were going to fight against him. They were going to be a part of the resistance. They made the decision that he was the worst human being who had ever existed. What happens to their lives now if he loses this election? They really have no purpose. They have no villain. They have no reason to exist. Already, news was in trouble. The number of subscribers to cable is plummeting rapidly. CNN and MSNBC got a reprieve from their death sentence based on the interest created by Donald Trump. What is going to happen to those networks now that Donald Trump isn't there? Their audience is going to collapse. Nobody cares about Joe Biden. This wasn't about Joe Biden. This election wasn't about Joe Biden for liberals. It was about beating Donald Trump. So now that they've got Joe Biden in the office, they really have nothing to focus on. There's nothing there. They beat their great Satan. Their Trump derangement syndrome is got no target. There's no reason for their existence. They're going to collapse. And I think that's a pretty significant situation to find themselves in. And so what will that situation be going forward? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to solve it. But that to me is one of the big questions as well. And then what does Trump want to do? We just talked about that. What about Outkick? Some people are like, oh my God, you're done for now. How in the world will you go on living? Fine. I voted in 6 presidential elections. The only twice out of those 6 has the person who I voted for won. And you know what I do? I get up the next day and I go to work and I keep getting better at what I do. And I keep making sure that my business is better. Outkick is going to be fine. 2020 has been an incredibly difficult year. But I'm not sure there's any media company that has more soundly cemented its relationship with the audience it has and grown its audience better than Outkick has in the year 2020. We're going to continue to grow no matter who the president is. 2024 is not far away. Given the fact that the Democrats are likely to lose seats in the Senate in 2022 and also lose the House in 2022, by 2024, there'll be 20 Republicans and 20 Democrats all running for office. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen in 2024 with no incumbent. And we'll be ready. You know, you don't think about the last election, you think about the next election. And I'm excited to see who might be in the field, who might be available, what will happen as we move forward in this new media landscape. But I'm very confident that Outkick is going to be in tremendous shape there.